Hello, hello, my fellow travel adventurers. We have just about made it to the end. 2019 is winding up, y'all. And 2019 has been an amazing year for me. And this year, I got the spark. I got the idea for Live, Learn, Love Travel Adventures. And I stepped out on faith, y'all, and I did it. And I would like to say thank you to each and every last one of you for supporting me, for liking, for following, for subscribing, for commenting, for getting engaged in the conversation, for every last private message that was sent to me, every last email. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could not have done this without you. You guys were absolute blessings from God, and God bless you. Like, this was a stretch for me. This was me stepping out on faith. So I pray that truly this has been a blessing unto you, and I have great plans to, be further stretched and utilized in the new year. So I had a little wardrobe change because that butterfly dress that I got from Dubai, like, y'all, it gets hot. All right. So let me say this now. Please forgive me if it seems like this is a little bit here, there, and everywhere, because as I did that previous video, I realized, like, oh my goodness, you have a testimony that you have not been forthcoming with. So I'm even pushing myself to share what I'm going to share. So let me first and foremost begin by saying this. When this was put on me to do, number one, it was put on me to do because of a situation that I never thought I would be in. So my first big international trip was not supposed to be a solo trip. I had great expectations for that particular trip as well as that relationship, and stuff don't always go the way you plan. And so the initial seeds of this began with that. And I went to the Middle East. I went to Dubai and Abu Dhabi solo dolo. And turns out I had a great time. But, of course, leading up to that, I had so many people telling me, like, oh my goodness, it's not safe for you to do that. This is ridiculous. And I went. I had a fabulous time. I was like, I'm not going to lose out on my money times two. I was like, if God bring me to it, he'll bring me through it. Like, I was just like, I'm finna be, a prayed up woman, but I'm about to go have me some fun. So, and I'm thankful for that trip because I came back with a completely different perspective. I met some amazing people on that trip, and it ignited a passion of international travel within me. I already knew that I enjoyed traveling domestically, but it takes... it's different when you international travel, and it's more taxing on your body. So I was glad to see that I was able to go forward with it as well as enjoy it. So when I came back, I saw that quite a few people were inspired by the fact that I went by myself and I was out there living my best life. Then I had another opportunity to do a 3-country trip. That's when I did my gallivanting through Europe. Once again, had a fabulous time. Did not Live, Learn, Love Travel Adventures was not on my mind during that time. So when I would travel, one thing that it would actually bother me, that I would be out and I would see people like recording and being on their phones, and I'm like, can you be in the moment? Like, golly. I remember looking at people being like, why? Now I'm one of the people, but this is why you get the gadgets like I get. So like, I just put the camera on me, and we go about our business. So it was just the thing of, I just did not realize all the opportunities that God was putting in front of me for me to go and travel and be able to do it on such a small budget, but still not skimping on the activity. So I started thinking, like, okay, maybe I need to share with people exactly what I was doing. So I made sure I would tell them about my travel agent, Southwest Bin Bay. I already knew about some Southwest tricks, but I just started getting a little bit deeper in the whole traveling world. Then I ended up being asked to go to the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. And of course, that's when Punta Cana was, and Dominican Republic was all in the news about, like, oh my goodness, if Americans go there, they're gonna die. So when that happened, that's when it really, like, you just came from there. You need to tell people, like, what's really good. I initially started this to be solely a blog. And I can admit part of the reason why is a lot of people think I'm very comfortable with this right here. They say, like, oh, you have such a personality, da da da. I like being behind the scenes. I like, hiding a little. I'll push my students, or I'll push, friends, family around me. I'll push them to the forefront, and I'll just, be back in the cut. That was one reason why I originally started it to just be a blog. But even in doing only a blog, I was concerned because, once again, people don't pick it up from these videos that I do, but I'm actually very socially awkward, okay? Shantae marches to the beat of her own drum, and that drum is offbeat as all get out compared to the rest of the world. And Shantae does not care. Like, I've been this way all my life. Like, I'm confused by simple social interactions sometimes. And I realize that when people always try to, assume what I'm thinking or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're wrong, because I don't make connections and stuff like everyone else does. And I mean, I did an emotional IQ. So before we start, with that, I'm actually very emotionally intelligent, but the areas that I lack always deal with, other people. I'm very much so cognizant of what's going on in here. I'm a homebody, I'm socially awkward, and I'm an ambivert too. In starting something like this, that means that you have to get people's support behind you. And that has been one thing that I always felt like I was very supportive of other people, but they generally were not very supportive of me. And when I've asked some people, well, why, don't you show me the same love? Don't you show me the same support? They always say, it was like, because it seemed like you always got it. Like, you don't need nothing, that you don't need nobody. And that's not the case. People need people. But also being that I was not comfortable with just, popping up and being like, yo, I need XYZ. That I'd rather just chill back in the cut. I do what I do. Everybody know I do what I do well, but at the same token, I don't have to really, be that social, besides maybe with my students and business partners. Like, I just had a small bubble, but this forced me to come out of that bubble, come out from, behind the scenes and step up front. So this has still, by all means, been a struggle for me. I am so thankful that something else that opened up as I was being obedient to this is acting opportunities opened up. And I got to meet with, casting directors and people that were in brand ambassadorship and stuff like that. And, they started letting me know, like, you have the goods. Like, it's naturally there. We need you to do something with it. And so at this point, this is like a whole new world for me. I'm very appreciative of, obviously, the gifts, skills, and talents that God has graced and blessed me with. But yes, I am here to utilize this testimony to be an encouragement to any one of you out here. It does not matter what your particular personality is. It does not matter what has happened to you in the past, what your previous relationships and interactions and situations with people have been. When God tells you to move, move. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable as you are stepping out of your comfort zone to do what is required of you, but please believe you are going to be ever so grateful, because now I look back, I can see the progression of my personality, my editing skills, all that. Like, this is all I'm learning while doing. And thank you all for being so patient with me and still finding value and the work that I am producing. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited for what's to come. I am now looking into different avenues, so then that way I have merchandise that goes along with the Travel Adventures blog as well as the vlog. My testimony solely is this: just because something doesn't go according to your plan does not make it invalid. Just because something is going to require more of you that in a particular area that you've never been asked of before, don't shy away from it. Go ahead and just surrender and be like, you know what? This is going to be a learning process. This is an opportunity, and I'm going to live life fully, because you know what? The adventures awaits. And truly, I can say, like, this has been an absolute blessing. I feel like I have discovered myself more, and even in the situations that brought me to this point, you know, it sucked at the time. It needed to happen. And that's what we also need to remember too, that sometimes things don't work out according to plan. They don't work out the way we want them to work out. But you know what? It's a time and a place for everything. You don't know what the future holds, but one thing that you can say is the past needs to happen exactly as it did, because if it did not happen, you will not be where you are right now. Even though you are not at a point right now where you feel that you are, you know, very accomplished, or you're where you want to be. Please know that it is in that moment that you definitely need to stand fast and be unmovable, and know that, you know what, this is the moment right here. This is the turning point. This is right here, right now, where things are about to go into high gear. This is where I'm going to get my push. This is where I'm going to get my deliverance. This is where I'm going to get my change. This is where I'm about to be imparted upon a boatload of confidence that I need, the know-how that I need, the connections that I need. Because there's been many a days that I would notice that I would post something and it wouldn't get a response. But you know what? One thing that I have noticed, and I believe any YouTuber will tell you this, any blogger will tell you this, so many celebrities will tell you this, even with what appears to be an overnight sensation, it did not happen overnight. So do not despise small beginnings. Keep pushing, keep going forward, and knowing that, you know what, you don't have to wait to 2020. This moment right here, right now, from whatever time you decide that no more, I'm not running anymore, that I'm going to live life to the fullest, and God, whatever you have planned for me, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go forth with it. That's the moment where your change is. Like I said, please forgive me if this was all over the place, but I needed to share that. So this, in some eyes, I'm summarizing, it stretched me because I was not in front of the camera person. I was a behind the scenes person. I was not a get out and constantly network type person. No, even in my business before this, people knew me because of the work that I've done and certain meetings I would be in, or they would see me give a presentation, and that's how we would network. It was always something that brought us together, not that I had to actually go out and create the connections. So on top of that, going different places by myself. I did not intend on initially being a solo traveler internationally, but it happened, and I made the absolute best of it, and I feel as though I am a better person for it. I have a story to tell. I have a testimony that encourages women, especially Black women, to know you can go places by yourself. And let me also throw this little tidbit in. I know sometimes, sisters, I know sometimes that, you know, it gets rough and we start wondering, like, dang, do anybody really appreciate us? One thing that I have definitely noticed, when you go overseas, baby, there are men that literally will worship the ground you walk on. Like, when I tell you I needed everything that I got in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, when I'm walking and men are literally coming up to me like I'm a celebrity asking to take pictures with me. I watched men run into walls, run into other people, fall in pools, all because they were staring and watching your girl as she was just walking minding her own business. So, I mean, every place, my father says, every destination will provide for itself, and he refers to food, friends, everything. But I share that piece of wisdom with all of you. Let every situation, every destination, every place provide for itself. So I pray that my story was somewhat inspirational and not just seeming like a random rant. But I definitely, like I said, or I may have not said, maybe I just said it in my head, I don't know. See, y'all seeing the socially awkwardness, because I'm not going to edit this part out, because I want y'all to see for real, authentically who I am. This was something I knew if I did not sit down and do it right now, it would not have gotten done. And you know what? The even greater testimony of it all, and then I'm going to let y'all go. According to some doctors, I wasn't supposed to make it this far. Just a few years ago, my parents were called in the room and they said that I was brain dead. So, as I like to say, I'm the most active brain dead girl, you know, ain't I? But once again, just know the impossible can be made possible. As you transition into this new year, just know that all is well. And I mean, higher heights, they waiting on you. Adventures await. Live life fully. Be lit. Let that light shine. Catch y'all next time.